Chapter 31, Surfacing Air Brake Systems, Day 1, Video 12, Spider Plate Inspection. So the spider plate on a air brake system is the same thing as the backing plate on a hydraulic brake system. That's where the shoe's attached to, all the braking force is transferred through those spider plates to the axle housing, back and forth through there. So we need to make sure that when we've cleaned off, we've taken off all the brakes from the wheel end, that we look at that spider plate. So it is a cast steel or cast iron plate that the brakes mount to. So a couple things we want to make sure is, again, so all the heat is transferred, or some of the heat is transferred through that spider plate also, so we could have damage from heat and cold, so cracking, broken brake spiders. The anchor pins can be frozen inside of their the mounting boss. There's a bushing in there, but sometimes those anchor pins will get seized up and frozen in there, and we need to make sure that we remove those, drive some new seals in, or new bushings in there, and take that into account. Loose or broken bolts, or the mounting holes elongated, that sort of stuff. If you look at the brake lining when you're taking off, so the brake shoe, when we're taking off, if we have a side to side taper, it's thicker on one side of the brake shoe than the other. That means that shoe is not sitting in there square, and a lot of times that'll happen because that brake spider is bent. That's what locates the shoe and keeps it evenly spaced and centered inside there. That spider can be bent, and now the brake shoes are not sitting in there evenly, and we don't have even wear that's happening across there. One of the ways that the spider can be bent is, I talked about the anchor pins being seized, and somebody is driving those anchor pins out with a hammer, right? They pound on those anchor pins to drive them loose. They're seized in there. That spider plate can bend. It's not uncommon. Some are made from cast iron, and some are just like plate steel that's bent together and welded up. So they make the anchor pin removal tools. There's like a ball joint press, so it presses those pins out, and then you press out the bushings, press new ones in, and new anchor pins. So that'll come with your brake kit. So make sure that we use the proper tools to remove those anchor pins. We don't drive them out with a hammer. Will cause damage to the brake spider, or bend it or break it. And that when we go back together, we make sure that we replace all those worn components, a little bit of anti-seize to create that barrier for the corrosion, to prevent it from happening, and just using the proper methods for disassembling that brake spider.